Talk of the Town.
Namaste and welcome to the show Talk of the Town. विगतको केही महिनाहरूदेखि हामीले डिजास्टर रिस्क म्यानेजमेन्टको बारेमा यस कार्यक्रममा धेरै चर्चा परिचर्चाहरू गरिरहेका छौँ र यही क्रममा आजको कार्यक्रम पनि हामी स्पेशली अर्थक्वेक डिजास्टर म्यानेजमेन्टतर्फ फोकस्ड रहेर कुराकानी गर्नेछौँ। आजको कार्यक्रममा कुराकानी गर्नको लागि हामीले दुईजना स्पेसलाइज्ड यो सेक्टरमा स्पेसलाइज्ड गेस्टहरूलाई आमन्त्रण गरेका छौँ। तर गेस्टहरूको इन्ट्रोडक्सन गर्नुभन्दा अगाडि हामीहरूले एउटा छोटो रिपोर्ट तयार पारेको छौँ। त्यो रिपोर्ट हामी तपाईँहरूलाई देखाउन चाहन्छौँ।
चारैतिर जमिनै जमिनले घेरिएर रहेको भूखण्ड, त्यसमाथि हिमाल, पहाड र तराईको बनोट, हिमालबाट सिधै ओह्रालो झर्ने ठाडा नदीहरू, भिरालो पहाडबाट उँधो झर्दा पहाडबाट बगेको माटोले बन्जर बनाउँदै लगेको तराईको भूमि, यतिले मात्र नेपालको भौगोलिक अवस्थिति झल्कन्न। बेला बेला सृजना हुने विपद र त्यो व्यवस्थापन गर्न नसक्ने कौशलहीन राजनैतिक नेतृत्व विशेषता हो हाम्रो। अझ भूकम्पीय जोखिमका दृष्टिले विश्वकै 11औं उच्च जोखिममा परेको देश हो यो। काठमाडौँ उपत्यकाको कुरा गर्ने हो भने त यो विश्वकै उच्च जोखिमले भरिएको राजधानी क्षेत्र हो। झण्डै शताब्दीको अन्तरालमा यस भूखण्डमा आएका भूकम्प सहितका डरलाग्दा प्राकृतिक विपदहरूले थुप्रै व्यक्तिलाई मृत्युको मुखमा पुर्याएको छ भने कैयौंलाई बाँच्नु र मर्नुको दोसाँधमा लट्याएको छ। अझ भूकम्प जस्तो प्रकोपले त नेपालमा दरबारमा राज गर्ने राजाको समेत मृत्यु भएको दृष्टान्त छ। मल्लकालीन राजा अभय मल्लले भूकम्पमै परेर आफ्नो ज्यान गुमाएको इतिहास साक्षी छ। वर्षेनी हुने प्राकृतिक प्रकोपले राष्ट्रिय आयको झण्डै 25% क्षति हुने गरेको विज्ञहरू बताउँछन्। खास गरी बाढी पहिरो, अल्पवृष्टि, अतिवृष्टि, आगलागी र भूकम्प नेपालको लागि अति जोखिम निम्त्याउने प्राकृतिक प्रकोप हुन्। नेपालमा वर्षेनी यस्ता विपदबाट सयौं नेपालीले ज्यान गुमाइरहेका छन्। जापान, अमेरिका, युरोपियन युनियन जस्ता मुलुकमा साना भन्दा साना विपद हुँदा पनि त्यहाँका सरकारहरूले जसरी तदारुकताका साथ उद्धार, राहत र पुनर्निर्माणमा ध्यान पुर्याउँछन्, नेपालमा त्यस्तो अवस्था पाइएको छैन। जोखिम न्यूनीकरणका लागि गैर सरकारी तवरबाट हुनुपर्ने तयारी जति कमजोर छ, सरकारी स्तरमा गरिनुपर्ने तयारी पनि त्यतिकै कमजोर र फितलो छ। जापानको कोबे नामक शहर र नेपालको काठमाडौँ शहर भूकम्पीय दृष्टिले उत्तिकै जोखिमयुक्त भए पनि जापान सरकार जसरी भूकम्पप्रति संवेदनशील देखिन्छ, त्यसको तुलनामा नेपाल सरकार र उसका संरचनाहरू बेखबर र संवेदनहीन छन्। विक्रम सम्वत 1990 सालको जत्रो भूकम्प र त्यत्रै थर्कन काठमाडौँ उपत्यकाले महसुस गर्ने हो भने यहाँ 1 लाख व्यक्ति मारिने र लाखौं घाइते हुने तथ्याङ्क विज्ञहरूको छ। यस्तोमा नेपालमा गरिने विपद व्यवस्थापन झारा टाड्ने भन्दा माथिल्लो स्तरको देखिएको छैन। जापान जस्ता थुप्रै विकसित राष्ट्र समेतले नेपालको विपद व्यवस्थापनमा सघाए पनि नेपालले आफ्नो व्यवस्थापकीय क्षमतामा सुधार गर्न नसक्दा समस्या ज्यूका त्यौं छ। पछिल्लो पटक यही असोज 1 गते ताप्लेजुङमा गएको 6.8 रेक्टर स्केलको भूकम्पबाट भएको क्षति बिहोरेका नागरिक समक्षसम्म पनि नेपाल सरकारले न त उचित राहत पुर्याउनै सक्यो, न त उद्धार नै गर्न सक्यो। भूकम्पको पीडामा बाँचेका नागरिक विपदमा परेको 4 महिना बित्न लाग्दासम्म राज्यले पुनर्निर्माणको कुनै मेसो मिलाउन सकेको छैन। त्यसैले विपद व्यवस्थापनमा सरकारले गैर सरकारी निकाय समेतको सहयोग लिएर वास्तविक पीडितसम्म पुग्ने आफ्नो संरचना बलियो र द्रुत बनाउनु नितान्त जरुरी देखिन्छ।
आजको कार्यक्रममा हामीले डिजास्टर म्यानेजमेन्टको बारेमा कुराकानी गर्नेछौँ। स्पेशली डेभलपिङ कन्ट्रिज, थर्ड वर्ल्ड कन्ट्रिजमा यसको अवस्था के कस्तो रहेको छ र के कस्तो गर्नु जरुरी छ, अझै हामीले के कस्तो उपायहरू गर्नु जरुरी छ र कसरी हामीले आफूलाई प्रिपेयर गर्न सक्छौँ भन्ने विषयमा आजको कार्यक्रम केन्द्रित रहनेछ। यसको लागि हामीले दुईजना गेस्टहरूलाई हाम्रो स्टुडियोमा निमन्त्रण गरेको छौँ। सर्वप्रथम म इन्ट्रोड्युस गराउन चाहन्छु आजको हाम्रो पहिलो गेस्ट रमेश कुरागाईजी, उहाँ एनसेट का डाइरेक्टर हुनुहुन्छ। And we also have Professor Kimiro Meguro from University of Tokyo. Welcome to the show, sir.
Namaste. Hello.
Namaste, sir. My first question goes to Rameshi. Rameshi, disaster management as such, what it actually is?
Disaster management in short is actually saving people, saving property, and to have the system so that we can save many people and property and less injuries. But there are many options. So far, to Nepal, we are still focused more to the post-event actions. So we believe sometimes that maybe we can save more people if we have proper system of response, like if we have the good medical team, good search and rescue team, and immediate relief and response activities, maybe we can save many peoples, which is maybe not true, but still from the government side, though in these years, in some years back, let's say 5 years, 6 years back, we have been talking about the prevent actions, but still the focus seems more that the open space or the response or rescue of people, providing immediate medical service seems still the focus of the country.
Professor Meguro,
Yes.
I mean, like, you've been working in this sector for quite some time now, and you've been visiting Nepal as well, this time around as well. So how do you see the disaster management activities in Nepal? I mean, like, are you satisfied with the way things are going in a country like Nepal?
We have 6-7 components. The first one is mitigation. Second one is preparedness. Third one, just before the hazard attack, that is prediction and early warning. And just after the hazard attack, damage assessment and response, emergency disaster response, and recovery and reconstruction. The first mitigation is composed of mainly two. The first one is improvement of the structure in case earthquake, seismic capacity improvement of structures. In case flood, the increase of the dike, height of the dike, these kind of the structural related issue. And one more is land use management. By these two, we can prevent the hazard to be disaster or damage. And the second one is prepare something before the hazard attack. That is, for example, drill, disaster drill or disaster manual preparation. These kind of the one to minimize or to make the effects negative smaller due to the hazard. These 6-7 elements, how to combine properly, that is a total disaster management. But what I'd like to say you is the first mitigation. This is really key. Without improvement of mitigation capacity, it is quite impossible, very difficult to reduce the casualties, to reduce the fatalities.
Ramesh, in this context, you know, Professor Meguro talked about the mitigation side, and I wonder how is the mitigation side of our country. I mean, like, you know, we've had this past experience, recent experience, where I mean, like, as a layman, we believe that we did not perform really well. So what has been our country's progress in the mitigation side?
Yes, very slow. Very, very slow progress. We had the building code formulated after 1988 earthquake and should be mandatory for every area, but we had to wait more than 10 years just by the government to announce the building code. So it's now been announced that the building code should be mandatory for at least for the urban areas. But to announce is one thing, but to have the proper system to follow it is another. So
definitely.
in terms of the real implementation, we have very, very small portion of the buildings, they are really getting earthquake resistance. And in some cases, and still in many municipalities, we do have 58 and now we are reaching 100 municipalities. Among the only 5 or 6 municipalities at the municipal level, they declare that we are implementing the building code. And the implementation of the building code or making the buildings earthquake resistance is the first for the mitigations, which we are not so much in progress. And as you mentioned, this time earthquake, the condition is similar. That I visited most of the earthquake damaged area in Taplejung. The buildings are stone and mud buildings. So even the code is implemented in the city, those buildings in the village are not getting safer. But we do have the technique to make those buildings also safer, but nobody is taking care of that. And as I mentioned, so far it seems that once the government gives 3,000 or 5,000 as an immediate relief, we had the interaction from the parliament members from those areas just in earthquake safety day event just 2 weeks back. And then they are, I have not been recently there, perhaps the media have reached there. So there are still reports that nobody has really get benefit of the knowledge, the engineering knowledge, and then we can even make those types of buildings also earthquake safe has not been reached to that area. It's because our focus is still the post event, post disaster. So once disaster occurs and the people get some money, we feel that we have done our part.
Exactly.
But that's not correct.
Yes. So Professor McGarry, you must have heard from your teammates, counterparts in Nepal as well, that things are not in a very clean, cliche areas in Nepal when it comes to mitigation. But with your experience, what would you suggest? Because in a developing country like Nepal, strictly following the codes or getting prepared for the mitigation activities might not be culturally or technically at times not possible right away. In that scenario, or what would you suggest? What could be our next step? How do we prepare ourselves for this?
The first, the very, very important point is to increase the imagination capacity, disaster imagination capacity of the people from the top level to the general public. We, human beings, it is impossible for us to prepare well for an unimaginable situation. Without increasing this capacity, imagination capacity, it is impossible to create the better disaster plan or implement that countermeasures. This is the first. And second, yes, you should prepare good code, a proper code. What I'm saying, good code does not mean sophisticated code. Good code means people can follow. Even a sophisticated one you develop, if the people do not follow, I can say that that code is bad code. That is second. And the third one is, yes, as he said, you should establish implementation system of the code. That is the quality control system of design and construction, education, the education of engineers, or how to get good workmanship. This is the third. These second and third, these two are mainly for new construction. But the last one, we should never forget about the existing structures, numerous existing structures. Without improving the seismic capacity of the existing one, it is very difficult to reduce the casualties.